Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Unbettable. Today, it's just Holmes and I kicking it as usual. Holmes, what's going on, man? How's your weekend? What you been up to? Hopefully been watching a lot of sports, betting on a lot of games.
Dude, you already know I have been absolutely locked into college baseball this weekend. Of course, we've been locked into the Florida Gators, who are going to Omaha when
Damn right, baby.
nobody thought we could do it. And we are here now going to the College World Series. Very, very excited. We'll have so much sports to recap today. We got NBA, we got NHL, we got college baseball. Give it to me, Mondo. Let's do it, bro. Let's do it.
Let's kick this shit off. We got NBA Finals action. Now we know. Guys, we know the Celtics have an incredible team. They're up 2-0 in the series as of last night.
Yep.
Holmes, what do the Mavericks need to do to get themselves back on track?
Dude, I will tell you what they need to do. They got to have somebody other than Luka Doncic score the basketball. I mean, it's unreal the little amount of help that he is getting. I mean, this Mavericks team looks nothing like they have so far throughout this playoffs. And it's, I don't even think it is a product of the spotlight being too big for them, because they've already shown throughout these playoffs that they can play well as a team. They can play well defensively. They can cook up different offensive schemes around Luka and around Kyrie to get everybody working as a whole. But so far, man, it just ain't working. Derek Lively does not look good at all. He is overpowered right now by that Celtics defense. I mean, just role players like PJ Washington, Tim Hardaway, like they're not there to be able to knock down the shots that the Mavs need. And Kyrie too, man, like I'm going to throw him in there. He's not a role player. He's a star player. That needs to be a guy that's putting up 20, 30 points a night for the Mavericks easily, no doubt about it. He is just not as efficient right now, man. It's, as far as the Celtics go, they're just dominating every facet of the game, man. 3-pointers, mid-range. They're blocking shots. They're contesting everything that the Mavericks have. Their defense is incredible. The couple of blocks that Jaylen Brown had in game one, amazing. Like when you think of the defense of the Celtics, you think of Drew Holiday, you think of Kristaps Porzingis, you think of the guys that have proven themselves as defensive masterminds. But for Jaylen Brown to come out and play that hard on the defensive end, in addition to what he gave them scoring wise in game one, shit looks like too big of a mountain for the Mavericks to climb right now.
Yeah, man. I mean, Jaylen Brown, as of now, he's the finals MVP in my eyes. I don't think Tatum's been looking as good as he should be. I mean, we all expected him to come out and carry, and right now he's kind of getting carried. I know Celtics fans will have his back, but that's just the truth right now. And you're right, bro. Kyrie is non-existent. He has been missing the entire final series so far. I don't know what's been going on. The Mavericks have looked terrible, but I do have this little thing in my back pocket. Just little fucking corgi on TikTok. I've been following his picks for the games. I've been putting bets down according to. I'm 2-0. I picked the Celtics twice. Games 3, 4, 5 are supposed to go to the Mavs. 6 to the Celtics, 7 to the Mavs. So in Corgi, we trust. It is not over. We know that there always is a lot of basketball left, which means a lot of time to bet. We know bets are flying in. We're throwing them out there on the Twitter. But, now's as good of a time as ever to get involved in betting on the NBA.
Easily.
Let's take it over to the ice, shall we? I mean, now we're starting to get more towards the home turf. We know the Panthers up 1-0 in the series. They have another game tonight. So, Holmes, before we dive into it, give me your preemptive pick of the night.
Panthers money line, plain and simple, man. Minus 135 right now. I'm completely comfortable laying the juice on that. The Panthers at home, dude, like they just look too good. And I understand watching that game one, it's maybe a little bit of a slower start than the Panthers have gotten out to in most of the games that they've played this postseason, but they still outplayed the Oilers, man. Like the Oilers just weren't able to get their shots home. And when the Panthers took their shots, when they got their opportunities, they seized the moment. They shut down the Edmonton power play, which was a massive piece as well, because we know how deadly Edmonton is on the power play. I mean, they're similar to the Rangers, man. They score at will. They're that good with McDavid and Draisaitl. I mean, that's just an easy 1-2 combination to have. But I love the way that the Panthers played, man. I love seeing them get another win tonight. I think what minus 135 is a good enough price that you'll be able to get. I think it'll be a little bit more sweaty tonight, maybe a
Mhm.
1 goal game here. So I don't really love a puck line in this situation, but I do like the Panthers to get this game outright, even if it's gritty, even if it's maybe an overtime win. I think it'll be 2-0 heading back to.
Yeah, I parlayed the money line with the Matty Kachuk point. I did it last game and the game before, Sam Bennett times Panthers money line. Both of them hit. So
Nice.
I'm a little hot right now with hockey. And I feel good about Matty Ice coming in, lighting up the ice tonight.
What I'm talking
But
about.
yeah, I got Panthers. We know that's my team, so we're gonna take it 2-0, head back to Edmonton, see what happens there. Should be interesting to say the least.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, it's again, the finals are a great time to bet on sports because everybody's watching, everyone's tuned in, everyone has plays. So you can kind of sift through and get adjusted as it goes along. So there's no real issue with you getting involved here. And Holmes, I've been seeing the plays everyone's been putting out, man. I'm telling you, there's something in the air about hockey right now. Everyone's hitting. Everyone's
Mhm.
hitting. I don't know why, but everyone's hitting in hockey these days, and it's awesome to
Yeah.
watch.
hmm Yeah, I've been seeing it on Twitter a lot. A lot of people are putting out good plays. I mean, I'm gonna even tout myself, dude. My little brother hit me up for game one. He said, "Hey, man, got any like good picks in this NHL game? Like, are you leaning any direction?" I said, "Yeah, man, I'll throw you a couple. You let me know if these hit Mondo." It was a little Sam Reinhart over 0.5 points.
Sheesh.
Cash. Get a little Leon Dreisaitl over 2.5 shots. Cash.
Sheesh.
Obviously, we got to take Sergei Bobrovsky over 24.5 saves.
Sheesh.
Easy. And then you know what else, like Bodie, if you want a little extra action on this, you want a little sprinkle, throw in a little Carter for Hagee goal in there. It's plus 155.
Sheesh.
I mean, yeah, there's nothing more to say,
You
man.
can't draw that
First
up any
goal.
better, Holmes. You cannot draw
Can't
that
do
up
it.
any better, baby.
Can't do it, man. We're gonna look to keep it alive tonight as well. And like I said, liking the Panthers money line, I'm gonna be all over that tonight. As far as player props, I haven't really dove into anything too specific, but Leon Dreisaitl, he's at minus 130 for over 2.5 shots again. I would jump all over that. That is just way too low of a line for him. He is going to have the puck in his stick a lot. So that is definitely one that I would take a look at. As far as points, I mean, there's really not a lot of guys on the Panthers you could go wrong with on this one. I mean, a lot of these guys are at over 0.5 points right now. Sam Bennett at plus 115 to get a point, kind of like that. If you want to take a flyer on that, maybe parlay a little Reinhardt Barkov together. I mean, there's a lot of options to be able to place a nice wager on this game tonight. But I'm sticking with the Panthers, man. I think they got this game. We'll see how the tide turns when they go to Edmonton, but I like the way Florida's playing home.
Yeah, Big Dick Bob over on saves
You.
tonight. Hammer it. We know Edmonton's going to come out shooting the puck. It's what they do. It's what they did last game. They had I think they doubled the amount of shots we took,
Yeah, they
and
went
still got
crazy.
whacked. So I'm taking
Mhm.
Big Bob's over on saves. Kind of a no brainer here. Hammer it. Now,
Yeah.
Holmes, before we get into our super regional hype sesh,
Yes,
I do
sir.
have a couple of plays in the MLB to talk to you about.
I would love to hear
First is
them.
a little triple nerf we got going on, a little 3 nerf parlay.
All
We
right.
got under, all right, I guess nerfy in Baltimore, Tampa Bay, which hit, I think, because it's still
That did
here.
not hit, bro. Gunnar Henderson hit a lead-off bomb against the Rays in the top of the first against
Then Hard
Ryan
Rock
Previa.
Bet, what are we doing here? Because it's still
Yeah.
upcoming.
I was hoping that you weren't going to say that game because I got that notification probably not more than like 5 or 10 minutes before we hopped on. And I was like, oh, Nerfy's gone in that one. And unfortunately, I hate to say it, it's a lot of Rays games this year, man. Nerfies are not hitting. We just suck.
I
Oh,
Hard Rock, what are we doing?
dude,
Update
yeah,
the fucking. Now I look like an idiot because it's not
that's
updated.
disappointing. That's disappointing.
All right. Anyway, the main one I want to talk about. There is
Okay.
a trend going over the past 11 or 12 years. It's with the Astros. Now, in the 67th game of the year, the Astros, I believe, are 11-0 in their last 11 for the 67th game in a year. Now, they have not really had close games. 9 of those 11 have been blowouts. So, what am I doing tonight, Holmes? You may be wondering. I'm hammering Astros minus 1.5. Because when you get a gambling tip like that, you don't ignore it. You play the hell out of it. So hammer that if you can. Astros minus 1.5 against the Giants, 9:45 p.m. tonight. Do not miss out. I guarantee you this is going to be the game to watch.
Yeah, that is insane, man. What a stat. I mean, that's incredible. 67th game. I mean, that is some in the weeds shit right there. I mean, I'm with you, dude. You find a nugget like that, I think you'd be a clown not to take a flyer and see what happens, dude. Especially if you're getting what'd you get on that? Like plus 135, plus 140 on that run line? Probably got a lot of value.
Plus 135, really nice. Man. I mean, that's a pretty solid chunk right there.
That's awesome. You're getting a great price for that. And you're taking on a team in the Giants too, where I don't think it's a ton of risk in terms of trying to place this bet against a team that is not really that great either. Like, I get it. Astros haven't been great either. This has really, really been a down year for them so far, 30-36. Dude, they're trotting out on the mound tonight as a 5.79 ERA, 3-5. So they are not that great. But honestly, on the other side, neither have the San Francisco Giants. They haven't really been showstoppers either, kind of hovering around mediocrity at 32-34. Kyle Harrison on the bump, 4.18 ERA. I don't really know much about that guy. So you find a nugget like that, man. Yeah, you got to hammer that. Why not? For the vibes. For the vibes.
All right, Holmes. Let's send it your way. You're going to lead the way here. Super Regionals was a fucking banger this weekend, man. And I want you to give the details all about it, and I'll sprinkle in here and there. But kick that shit off, baby.
Yeah, man, we went crazy in all of these matchups. We'll go through them one by one, just like we did in the preview episode, and we'll get Mondo's thoughts on all of these matchups as well. But we'll start with the Friday ones that got kicked off on the first day of the weekend. Florida State, UConn. Holy shit. I mean, when I told you that Florida State is that team, especially at home, they're that team, dude. 24-4. They blistered the hell out of UConn on Friday. That was ridiculous to see that type of score disparity in a super regional. But then they come out on Saturday and they win 10-8 in 12 innings. James Tibbs, 5 for 6. 4 bombs, I believe it was, included three home runs he had on the day, 5 for 6. He had the go-ahead home run in the 10th. Dude, that was incredible to watch that game. And credit to UConn for pulling themselves back into that game numerous times on Saturday after they got absolutely shellacked on Friday. They hung in there. They actually gave FSU a little bit of a fight. And that's on me, because I said, Jamie Arnold, when he is on the mound, you take the FSU spread and you take it at whatever number it's at. Unfortunately, I got it at 2.5. So I lost with the 10-8 final score. But if you got it at 1.5, you cashed on that, but Jamie Arnold did not look his best. So hopefully he'll be able to retool, get ready for the College World Series. But this was an easy sweep from Florida State, man. Any thoughts you had on this first matchup?
No, I mean, this kind of went as we predicted, right? Florida State, we know, is a great team. They put runs up on the board, and that's exactly what they did. UConn, I mean, credit to them. They hung in there after getting ass blasted by 20 the first day. Hung in there, fought into extras. I was watching the game a little bit later in the innings before we went on our little boat trip this weekend. But yeah, Florida State's a juggernaut at the plate. That's nothing new. And they just proved it once again this weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. Second matchup we got here in this one, Tennessee and Evansville. I did say that Evansville, they could possibly steal a game here, and they did on Saturday. They won 10-8 on Saturday, but unfortunately Friday and Sunday, they get their asses beat like we thought that they eventually would by the number 1 team in the nation, Tennessee. I mean, for me here, I think Saturday was to be expected for me. I think Tennessee had a really nice win in game 1 on Friday and kind of let Evansville hang in there a little bit. Evansville came out with a lot of fire on Saturday, got a great win. But then Tennessee, they went to work on Sunday, man. They knew what was on the line. Everybody in that lineup was showing out all weekend long. Big, big props to the hitters on that team because they were putting together a ton of runs for the Volunteers all weekend long. Evansville, man, Cinderella story has to end, unfortunately, in the
Mhm.
Super Regionals, but they made a fantastic run, stole a game from the number one team in the nation. But Tennessee, dude, they are going to be a very, very difficult team to face in the College World Series.
Team to beat, man. Tennessee's a
Mhm.
wagon. Evansville gave it their all, but that just ain't enough. It ain't
Yeah.
enough. You
Mhm.
don't have the depth, right? The
True.
depth factor, as we know, in these 3 day stretches, like that's what we were worried about in our games. And, that's what bites Evansville at the end. So it
Exactly.
is what it is. Hell of a run, but Tennessee's just a fucking wagon.
Yeah. Wagon is right. Third matchup we had on Friday, North Carolina, the number fourth ranked team against West Virginia. North Carolina, I don't want to say they did it with ease, but I mean, they swept West Virginia in a couple of games, both of them pretty close. West Virginia hung in there. I thought maybe West Virginia could push that to a 3 game series. But UNC, I did say I've liked this team all season long, man. They're a very well rounded team. They're playing a very tough conference in the ACC, and they have shown that they have a lot of grit all season long. I think what really helped them out in this series is being battle tested in regionals, especially against LSU, going to war with the defending national champs, and eventually being able to move out of there and go
Mhm.
to the super regionals. I think that gives them a lot of grit and a lot of toughness to be able to play in the super regionals against a very good West Virginia team. I'll give them some credit. Very, very good team that they had to play against. But North Carolina, man, they took care of business and they are on to the big dance. Good for them.
Yeah. When we talked about on the last episode, I said it's going to come down to two guys. It's going to come down to Cook and Honeycutt. Sure as shit, man. Holmes, I was texting you Friday. This
Mhm.
man is the fucking truth.
Yep.
Honeycutt is flying up the draft boards right now. I mean, a walk-off homer. There's no bigger situation unless you do it in Omaha. So we called UNC, pulling this out with ease, but damn, bro, this team
Yeah.
looks good. They look really good.
Yeah. Arguably one of the craziest things I saw the weekend, him hitting that walk-off bomb
Oh
Friday
yeah.
night. First pitch, leadoff batter of the game on Saturday, hits another nuke. Like, dude,
Mm-hmm.
that's incredible. Like, good for him, man. He is certainly playing his way up draft boards. The fourth and final game that happened on Friday, this was probably the least exciting and the least exciting series, probably in my opinion. Virginia ended up beating Kansas State in 2 quick games. Like we said on the preview pod, Virginia just has a potent offense, man. It's one of the best in the ACC. They showed it against Kansas State. Kansas State just really wasn't able to match them and be on the same level that Virginia has been at really all season long. Virginia kind of moves on to the World Series with ease. They will be the 12th ranked team and yet another ACC team to have made it to the College World Series.
Yeah, I don't think that ranking reflects how good they really are. I think that they are definitely a top 8 team. Just, I mean, yeah, this was kind of boring. Not really much to say.
Mhm.
Virginia, we expected them to come out on top, and they sure as hell did. So,
Absolutely. This series, now we're moving to Saturday, the fifth series I want to cover here. This one has been a little weird so far, and they're actually playing their game
mhm.
three to determine who goes to the College World Series right now. Number 10, NC State, and number 7, Georgia. This super regional whack as hell. NC State takes it to Georgia on Saturday, 18-1. Another absolute shellacking.
Yeah,
Sunday, Georgia comes right back, 11-2 in NC State's face. And we're like, what the hell is about to happen on this Monday night matchup? And honestly, we still have no idea. It's 0-0, top two right now. I honestly think that this is going to be an under game, and I should have bet the total. The total was all the way up to 15.5 for this game. It was the only total that was released all weekend for college baseball. Shame on you, Hard Rock. Your totals need to be up for college baseball. I would have cleaned you dry. That was the scenario. But I think this is going to be an under game, man. I think both of these teams are just going to be really, really tight in this one. They're just going to be really nervous, I think, to make the mistakes that they each did in games 1 and 2. Just really, really weird here, man. But I think the biggest thing is whoever wins, they're going to get another team from that conference into the College World Series. ACC, I think they already have 3 teams in looking for a fourth, and I believe it's the same for the SEC. Or no, SEC, they have 4 teams in looking for a fifth. So that would be incredible either way if either of these teams are able to advance. So I'm not sure which way I'm leaning here. Mondo, you have any feelings on this third game?
Dude, it's going to come down to Charlie. I mean, Charlie's 1 for 8 in the Super
Mhm,
Regional right now. He's looking horrible.
mhm.
This could potentially affect the draft stock if he doesn't put something together tonight. So
Sure.
look for him to try and have a big game. But as of now, he's 0 for 1 at the dish. And I don't know, man. It's one thing to be an elite regular season player like he has been. But if you want to be that top pick, you got to perform when it matters the most. And he just
Yeah, you
hasn't
do.
yet.
Of course.
So I'm interested to see how tonight goes, but if Charlie doesn't perform, I don't see Georgia advancing.
Yeah, great point on Charlie. I'll move to another series that started on Saturday and ended yesterday in a little 2-0 sweep. Texas A&M takes care of Oregon, and honestly, Oregon, I thought they were going to stay in it just a little bit more, man. They put up a good fight in game one. It looked actually really great last night until Texas A&M exploded for a fantastic 7th inning, took the lead with ease and never looked back. This is just another case of an SEC team that has showed out all season long. They're ranked number 3 in the nation, moving on to the College World Series. Really, ever since they have lost that opening SEC weekend series to Florida, they've been on a tear. And this is going to
Mhm.
be a very, very hard team to stop.
Yeah, Oregon's pitching just finally fell apart. We knew it was coming at some point, and just happened to be now. So shout out to A&M.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, they're going to be a tough one.
Yeah, they are. So the last series we'll get to before we talk about our boys in the blue and orange, Kentucky and Oregon State. Kentucky ranked number 2 and Oregon State ranked number 15. Kentucky moves on here with ease. And honestly, I did not expect this. I expected Kentucky to move on. I've really liked this team. But Oregon State, man, there was no way I thought in this scenario where they're going to get swept. And especially on Saturday, Kentucky pitches a shutout. 10-0 win there and wins 3-2 yesterday. Last night in this incredible game, super late night. It had to be up super late if you wanted to watch this entire game. Kentucky was able to go have a runner steal third base and home, all because of a pass ball and a pitcher from Oregon State that was lazily walking to home plate. He was not there to be able to cover the runner. Incredible hustle play I saw by Kentucky. That was the difference. It was 2-2 until that guy scored that run right
Mhm.
there, made the difference in the game. Incredible performance by Kentucky all around for them to be able to move on. They have also been a wagon all year, but man, am I disappointed in Oregon State for not even being able to get a game here in this series.
Yeah, man, they were my sleeper team to sneak through, and just they just didn't. They
Yeah.
didn't show up. They didn't want it. 2 runs in 2 games, fucking pathetic. Hopefully they can retool for next season, but that was just abysmal out of them.
Yeah. Laid a big egg. Laid a big egg. Now we are getting to the series that everybody has waited for. That certainly Mondo and I have waited for. The Florida Gators sweep the Clemson Tigers
Yes,
in
sir.
South Carolina, in Clemson, in their home stadium. The Florida Gators are moving on to the College World Series, a 10-7 win on Saturday. What a fantastic pitching performance by Brandon Neely. Once again, he shows up,
Mhm.
4 innings, 1 hit, 1 walk, 7 Ks. He was immaculate at the end of that game. Obviously, the offense was able to get it cooking all game long. They have been clicking ever since regionals started, and you love to see the way this offense has continued to not only hit this ball out of the ballpark, but they're playing some small ball too. They're stealing
Yep.
bases, they're bunting, they're sacrificing, they're manufacturing runs. They're getting it done the way it's supposed to be done when you can always get it done with the long ball. And you love to see that. And as for Sunday, I mean, dude, this was the game that I think everybody in sports media had to talk about one way or the other.
Mhm.
This 11-10 thriller in 13
Unreal.
innings. My God, we had everything in this game. We had bombs. We had almost fights on the field. We had ejections. Dude, this game was absolutely nuts. Hats off to Cags, man. He went out there and put on a very, very good performance on the mound. I know it
Mm.
obviously wasn't the best that he's ever had, but he hung in there and was able to give the Gators a lot of life. Brandon Neely, again, going 4 innings. I know he gives up a couple runs there, but man, was he just a wagon for us all
Yep.
weekend long to throw the amount of pitches he did, especially in the situations that he did. Massive, massive props to him. We had some freshman arms that came in there and really, really got the job done as well. So there's nothing you can say, but I am extremely proud of what the Gator boys have done so far, man. This is an incredible run. They've turned it on when they've needed to turn it on, and it's been awesome to watch. Mondo, the floor is yours. Take as long as you want. The Gators.
Brother, it has been incredible to watch this team continue to fight throughout this season. I mean, we started off with such high hopes. It felt like all hope was lost by the midpoint. We kind of just snuck our way to here and we pull it out, man. But Cags, we know he does it both ways. I mean, the guy is just a fucking phenom, shows up when it matters. Shout out to Mike Robb. I mean, 2-run double to win the game. We gotta love it. But as much as it's a Gator highlight reel, I feel like we gotta shout out Cam Canarella. That guy, Holmes, I said it. I was like, this man has worked his way up at least 2 rounds in the draft board. I mean, just an absolute unreal showing on Sunday. You talk about a 3-run homer to tie it up in the ninth, send it into extras, and then a Willie Mays catch in extras, secure it, doesn't let up and run. I mean, the guy is a fucking phenom in the making. As much as I like hyping up the Gators, man, you got to give credit where it's due. Canarella showed up. He delivered. You can't knock it. The other thing that I liked out of Clemson, the coach going out on the field arguing the ejection and then gets the fucking crowd hype. I was dying laughing. I was like, man, I'm stressed as hell right now, but you know what? This is electric. This is what makes baseball, and this is what makes it the Super Regionals. No other sport do you have that happen. It was an absolute battle. Everyone tuned in to watch it. The broadcasters were going crazy because they didn't know what was happening. We didn't know what was happening. It was a clusterfuck for like the last 6 innings of the game. But man, did that shit deliver. It felt incredible watching that ball go into left center and you just watch them all around the bases. Mike Robb pointing up. You cannot ask for a better way to end it if you are a Gator fan. I'm so excited to watch the boys keep going in Omaha. This is going to be an awesome time. And good luck to everyone else because we're going to show up to play because that's what we do.
Yes, sir. Yeah, dude, on all those points you just touched on. I can't believe I left out Mikey Robb's walk-off. Absolutely one of the best parts of the game right here. I completely lost that and all the other shit that happened in this game.
There was so much that happened, man.
Yes.
You couldn't fit it all in. So I just picked up where you left off. Like it was people on Twitter, like you had the NBA finals about to start and you had this and that. Everyone was talking about this game. Everybody.
Yeah.
And it's rare that that happens in college baseball, man. But when you have a matchup like that, you got to love it. Got to.
And that was unreal. Like you said, the amount of hype that it got for a college baseball game. Yeah, man, you rarely see that because, I mean, we're some of the only people that are really invested. We're fans. We enjoy the sport. We really like it. But for that to be all over mainstream media, for it to be talked about as much as it did, that was absolutely awesome. Yes, I'm going to give the props to Cam Canarella too, because that was an insane stretch that he had.
Unbelievable.
That 3-run bomb to tie the game, as well as the basket catch. That's unreal. That's unreal. I audibly like just yelled when he caught that ball. I thought we had won the game right there. I thought that was it. That was going to be the walk-off. Boom, Gators are going to Omaha. And man, that catch, I was like, oh my God. Dude, Clemson. I thought Clemson might have won that game.
I thought that's what turned it. I thought that's what turned it, and the boys just didn't give in, and that's why you got to love it.
Yeah.
But man, that was a phenomenal game to watch. Absolutely phenomenal.
Storybook, dude.
Yeah. But now we got Omaha coming up. I'm sure we're going to preview it on next episode. And now we got NHL to watch. Starts in 30 minutes. So,
yes, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed this episode, please make sure to like, subscribe, share with everyone you know, because you know these episodes are going to keep coming out. They're going to keep getting better as we move on into NFL season. We will see you guys on the next episode. Peace.